Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting radio-exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Hi, guys. Welcome to Creators to Creators today. Today we have a special guest.
Hey, I'm Y.I Mogul, CEO of All Exclusive Network, as well as Bigger World Regime, and co-host of Around the Henny podcast.
Yes. My name is Eddie Law, co-host Around the Henny podcast. Excited to be here. I'm so excited.
Yes. Hey, lady, baby.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much. I'm so glad I can talk to you guys. You guys are doing so many things, and just like individually, you guys have your own thing, but together you have an amazing podcast show and amazing guests that you guys have on your show. So talk a little bit about, I don't know, just a little bit of where you guys come from and then how you guys met, that kind of thing.
Okay, well,
we go ahead, Y.I.
Yeah, well, we're originally from Dayton, Ohio. We actually met the first day we were both born.
Yes.
We're born in the same hospital room, 6 hours apart.
Yes.
My mom and his mom are blood sisters, so this is my first cousin.
Oh,
yes.
Yes. I'm 6 hours older than this guy.
Yes. I'm born at 237. It's just big chemistry throughout all our life, pretty much. We've done talent shows and stuff together. Everything. It's just like 2 peas in a pod, for real. Cousins, for real.
I love that.
We're like brothers, for sure.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. That's even better to keep it like in the family, you know?
Yes.
Absolutely. I'm talking about, man, it's been through a whole lot, man. So it's definitely dope to be able to start a show together and, just bounce off of each other. It's dope. It's real dope.
Nice.
And the growth in the process is, it's definitely worth seeing it. And, it's worth it.
Yeah, I'm sure. So, obviously you guys are family. What made you guys say, yeah, let's start a podcast show together? Like, what was that about?
Well, you want me to go or you want to
Yeah, go ahead,
Right. So basically, we had this group chat with myself, Eddie, and a few of our other cousins. And, one day we was just talking and we was like, yo, man, we should start a podcast, because everybody sometimes, in group chats, I don't know, Miss Bean, if you got a group chat with you and your homegirls, but it just be a wide range of stuff. And, we be posting pictures of our little Henny bottles and our little, man, I got Bay with me.
Yeah.
So, and then one day, we was just like, we should start a podcast called Around the Henny, where we just talk about just different things, like
topics,
different topics and stuff, and enjoy a little cognac, kind of wind down a little bit. And I was like, you know what, let's do it. I already got the All Exclusive Network, which is a multimedia network, allexclusivenetwork.com. So I'm like, you know what, bam, let's do it. We'll go ahead and sponsor on the network. So me and Eddie Law, we got the plugging in, like, okay. And initially, it's funny, like if you go back to our first, 2 episodes, we didn't have any guests. Yeah, we didn't have any guests, so we were just literally talking about just different topics. And then I think by episode 3, we interviewed when we did our first interview, and we had Brandy Hoskins, WNBA player, and we had Shaquilla Hill, who was the only player in history to have a quadruple double. So that was kind of like our first interview back to back. Shout out to those Black Queens for giving us a chance. And man, it just kind of took off from there, man. We've had a lot of great celebrities come on since then.
Nice. So I'm sure it's like you guys had like I don't know how is it? Do you guys discuss? All right, this person I think they're interesting, and you guys bring it to each other like this might be a good guess, and you just guys kind of talk, and that's how you guys.
They have filtered through me. I run them through Y.I, and I think this person can be very interesting and bring a different element to what we have already going, because me and Y.I, what we have is pretty much organic, and our energy is organic, and we just feed off of one another. And I think this person's this person's presence will be receptive toward our show and our viewers and who we have on there. And, it's been going very well, so far. And I hope the success continues.
Yeah, for sure it will. So like it's interesting. I'm very, very curious, because I'm like, you guys have this, you have all exclusive network. I was curious, how did that come about? And you also have like an agency as well. I'm like, holy crap. Yeah. You're like everywhere. Talk about that, please.
Yeah. That's why they call me Y.I Mogul, man.
Love it.
I thrive off of being an entrepreneur and just really seeing how far I can go. God's great power, man. He'll give you anything you ask for if you put the work in. So I'm always pushing the envelope, trying to see, what can I do to really, put my stamp here on earth. And all exclusive network, content, all exclusive content. I say, like, content is key right now, with the pandemic going on, and just people not being able to go out like they want to. I'm like, you know what? Let's really turn it up on the content, because my background is in entertainment industry, touring, writing records, different stuff like that, with artists. But like I said, when the pandemic hit, it was like, okay, let's pivot a little bit. And I already had some shows in pre-production, so. And it's just, Everyday Grind with Y.I. That's another show that I have. In the Shop, ATL is another show that's in production. Just trying to give the people good content. Good content, unfiltered, that Black owned. You know what I'm saying? So that's really where that motivation comes from. Just really like raising the bar, and then around it, Henny was just perfect. It was a perfect marriage. My brother, you know what I'm saying? And we actually talk about, current items, current things. We just had a young lady on here, as there was election day. And we just had a woman running for Congress,
Mm-hmm.
So when you can have somebody like that who can, who you can talk to candidly, I think that was great. When you have conversations like that with the Avants and, Damon Williams and Miss Meosha B. We've had you on the show, a filmmaker who, is putting all these great vibes and great energy into the universe. It's just a blessing to be able to have those people come on our platform,
Yeah.
And one thing that we speak about, like, me and him personally, like, we gonna have two things in life: the birth date and a death date. And what you do in between, and that's what people are going to talk about. And we're just trying to reinvent ourselves. Like me, a career soldier, logistician. I've been out here just putting rubber to pavement.
Right.
And I'm very good at that. But it's like, what else can I do to give back to this great earth? We just trying to reinvent ourselves. We got to do something. It's always more that we can do. And that's, that's the aspect in which I try to bring to it. And that's the aspect that I think around Henny's bring to the, the culture, if you will.
Yeah, definitely.
Service, Eddie Lau, too, man. It's one of our servicemen. Shout out to all the servicemen,
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing, because I imagine, like, because you said also Black owned and how important that is. That's amazing to see that. It's so inspirational. I kudos to you guys. And I wonder, is it tough to, as a Black Mogul, Black Business, Black Podcast to get your stuff seen? Is it more competitive? Are there kind of things that you?
Honestly, I think, it's gonna be, you're gonna get what you put out of it. I mean, in this day and age, you have a lot of great creators, you have a lot of great business-minded people, you have just a lot of great thinkers. So it's the old adage of how to be heard in a room full of noise.
Right.
So, I just go in. I don't really pay attention to, how, what roadblocks I may run into, because we're gonna run them things over. With the power of God, you can do
Love
anything.
it. That's right.
So honestly, I just always forge forward. I don't really, get into like, oh well, because at the end of the day, what God got for you, nobody can take from you.
Exactly.
And, like I say, episode 1 up until now, I think we're on episode like 20. I mean, man, it's been nothing less of remarkable, and we're only getting better. And that's what Around the Henny, as well as with the all-exclusive-network.com. It's just all working and it's divine plan. So I'm excited, and I'm excited.
Yeah. And bringing in a unique taste, because, a lot of people can have podcasts and anything like that, but what's your flavor of podcasts? And we just trying to, appease to the taste of who got the flavor of which what we're trying to put out there. Like, honestly, we're not trying to be like anybody else. We're trying to be unique and authentic to ourselves, as well as put out great content for the people to, consume.
Nice. I love that. Is there anything else that you guys want, like as far as like even around, if it's Around the Henny or All Exclusive Network, what adventures that you guys haven't done that you want to do or you're looking to do with your network and your platform?
Well, myself, I know I want to get a cooking show put in.
Oh.
I definitely think, as much as I've sat around and watched Chopped and all those good so if we could come with like a chop, for the All Exclusive Network or something along those lines, that's something that I definitely have in mind to put in production at some point in early 2021. Right now, it's really the big focus is just focusing on the current, shows that we have and making sure those, you got to scale, and doing some work with a tech company I do work with. One thing that they've taught me is scaling. So I just want to scale correctly, make sure Around the Henny's running on all cylinders, make sure Everyday Grind Y.I is running on all cylinders, make sure In the Shop ATL is running along on all cylinders. You know what I'm saying? Then go ahead, In the Shop, I have a few franchise that, that's like a whole franchise. So it'll be In the Shop Ohio and In the Shop, Alabama, so on and so forth. But I just want to come with the cooking show. And then as far as with Around the Henny, we do have something special that we're going to do for this coming Thanksgiving break.
I'm excited. I'm curious now.
Make sure y'all get ready. This Thanksgiving, we come with something.
It's going to be,
exciting.
It's going to be exciting. I'm excited about that. But as far as me, I want to get a percussion documentary because I'm a percussionist at heart. That's my first love, making music. And, just a percussion documentary from like then until now, because there's a whole bunch of other old tapes that we have that, that's pretty much archived and things like that. And, just to, give back, because something in our city, Dayton, Ohio, is really died down as, the percussion and the drill team and things like that. And that's where a lot of us got our passion and got to stay up off the streets in order to get and not get into mischief. And, it bridged the gap for me to go from high school to college, from college to the Army, and, things like that. And, just gave me a focus and, for me to give back to the percussion and drill team family, that's something that, that's in the works. And I'm trying to, just continuously put the blueprint together so we can move forward and, forge forward.
I love that.
Funny story with this guy in percussion, when we was younger, we was in the church, shout out to my grandma, Reverend Parker, our grandma. And I was the first one on the drums. He was playing the organ. The next thing you know, 1 week we come in, this guy, he jumps on the drums and blows me out of the water. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about, man, man. He's dope at percussion. So
Nice.
let's get together, man, and put that documentary together. Maybe we have Miss Meosha B.
Yeah.
Or something like that,
Hey,
you know?
I'd love
Yes.
to. I'd love to.
Yes.
Yeah, which was I was going to get into this question about like how, I mean, I don't like to get political, but because we're in this kind of climate right now and what's happening, I'm sure you guys are kind of like, wow, what's going to happen? I mean, everyone's like waiting on the edge of the seat, like with this whole election thing. This has actually been the longest, right, ever for a vote. I think because it's COVID and that situation. But how do you guys feel right now?
I'm gonna say this. I ain't gonna lie. This is the first time where we did not know the same day. I had to think about it. I was like, damn.
We normally wake up and it's good.
Right. It's like it's pretty decisive.
When you go to sleep, they be like, Bucko done lost this one, buddy. Yeah. I was like, go get that speech ready. You know what I'm saying? I just think that I mean, it's just it's a defining time for us as a democracy. To show that your vote counts.
Yes.
And I think it's just gonna be very interesting, man. Like, it's 2020 has really been 2020. This year I'm so ready for 2021. I think everybody is. For some reason, people can hate each other's guts, but when some terror, not to say I want some shit to happen, but like when some shit happens to the country that against us, we all come together.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's like, it shouldn't take that, but I'm just hoping that, once we finally do get the final who got elected, man, if we just move forward together as a country, because we got to be united, man. This is the greatest place on land. You know what I'm saying? Like, America is that's why so many people come here, because it's a great country. But, we got a few bad apples who, are putting us in interesting situations, but with faith and good work, I think that we'll be able to turn it around, man. So we're gonna see.
That's it.
And I have faith in America. Right herself is just like a code or anything like that. Hopefully you will get healed from it and come back stronger. And, that's what I think is going to happen, with the election. Not to say that anyone's a virus, not to say anyone's a code or anything like that, I'm using similarities. But, I just think that, America's going to come back greater, and, the winner will be the winner.
Yeah.
And because I took an oath to defend anyway.
Better damn stand by they shit talking about they going to do something for the black community. Because we hold your feet to the fire. We ain't having it. It is time. It's time to take our black vote serious. Minority vote, period. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that given everything in this, I think this needed to happen. This total just anarchy needed to happen for us to be able to, like Ross said, sometimes you got to destroy before you elevate. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
I think that this is going to help us move in a better direction. If nothing else, it definitely pulled the mask off a lot of, people, that really was feeling a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can't hide.
For real.
Not for too long.
These are our teachers. These are our policemen. These are our judges. These are our healthcare workers.
Yeah.
I need to know that the person that's working on my loved one is really working on them, trying to help them, and not working on them trying to kill them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I need to know that this teacher is really trying to teach my son and not trying to, dumb him down or, set him up for failure. So those things are important. I think that this was needed to kind of make, you see it every day. People, posting stuff online and different stuff, and you see, damn, they're in that position. Like,
right. It's interesting too. Like, I think it's like you said, this was something that it's needed to happen, and it was necessary for us to bring us together. If anything, we see, like you said, who's who, and honestly, all we can do is just choose love. That's what and I agree with that. So my last question to you guys is there's so many people that want to start a company or business or start a podcast or even get into entertainment, and what you guys are doing. what advice would you give to that person, like if they want to do what you guys do or start?
What I would say is just stick to the fight when you hardest hit, because when we was first beginning and, the viewers were down and anything like that, you got to stick to the fight when you hardest hit, when you want to give up, because it's been many times I'm just like, man, I don't know, like we got a certain number, like in the beginning where we wanted to hit, and now our number has been pretty much consistently. And that number wasn't getting hit, and I called Y.I like, man, we didn't even do it today. And he like, man, just wait, the number's gonna start creeping up, and then first they start creeping up, and then you're just staying consistent. You got to stay consistent because consistency and being persistent. Be persistent, pray, and everything should work out in its own if you are authentic and you're genuine with what you're trying to do.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely, and I definitely say that as I said a mouthful there. Like, consistency is key. That's with anything. If you really, but first of all, nobody's going to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. So if we didn't say, hey, let's get this set up, let's go ahead and start doing these episodes, even if I only got one viewer, that's still one person who I can talk to, that I could potentially educate, that I could potentially change their life. And that is paramount. So I would definitely say with anybody who, whether you want to start a podcast, whether you want to start your own business, do it. The biggest step is doing it. If you just you have it in your head, I advise you to put it on paper, write it on your whiteboard so you can visualize it, and just do it. Just do it. Yeah. I would rather you start and have to make audibles on the run than wait and say, well, let me wait till I'm ready. If you wait till you're ready, you'll never be ready.
That's
have a map, because you got to knock down targets. All right, I want to be right here by this time, and do everything in your power to make it there by that time or around that time, and then just continuously knock down targets, and make sure your compass is going towards your goal.
Yes, I love that.
Don't get to lose. Like, I mean, like Eddie Law said, when we first started, our viewership was low, but we were new, we were fresh, but we stayed consistent with it. We stayed consistent with topics. We even had times where, like, we literally got down to the wire and had to get a guest. Like,
oh wow,
we
went through it.
I got on my phone, like, okay, wait a minute, who can I call? I happened to get my guy Will Clemens, Money Team. He's on the Money Team, Mayweather's team, and he's a boxer out in Vegas. I said, let me call my guy Will, and he jumped on and he co-hosted the show with us. So
that's
awesome. Like we literally went from like being down to the wire with trying to make sure we got a show to shoot for that week to now weeks ahead.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So like that's where we talk about believing in the process and staying consistent, man. And just follow your dreams, guys. Like if in school we were taught to literally follow our dreams and be entrepreneurs, we would have so many more successful people. But a lot of
people, that's deep. That's good.
Yeah, for real. It's like they want it, but they don't believe that they can achieve it, or they believe that it's too hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Don't let no one else, put their fears on your dream. Like, oh, you can't do this, you won't be able to do this. That's what they're saying. Don't start believing their fear for your goal.
Absolutely. If we all knew who we truly were and where we, truly, we would be able to do, sky's the limit. I mean, honestly, and I think it starts within knowing who we are. And that's the most important thing. And I think it's good that we can all educate and be there and I literally had this conversation with someone. It's like TV, movies, we're constantly being kind of, in a way, told on a subconscious level who we are, and we end up believing it somehow. And then it's like, oh, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this because of
And it's knowing. It's just like, if I had teachers that said, hey, what do you want to do? Hey, you know what? You can do that. This is what you need to do, versus saying, all right, I just want you to go ahead and do this trigonometry that you're probably not ever going to use and go and get a job and work at GM. Look how that works. So, it starts from the ground up. That's why I say it's important to know these people who are educating you. Yeah. It's important to know these people that your children are around, because minds are sponges. Just think if we had millions of young, not just Black children, but, you know, ethnic children that were told from the time that they were born, like, hey, you can be an owner. Hey, you can be an entrepreneur. Hey, you are great. I tell my son every day before we leave before we leave out the door, if I take him to school, I say, I am special, I am somebody. And you know why I do that? Because my mom used to have me say it when I was young. Before I left off that porch in the morning for school, I am special, I am somebody. And that resonated with me. So, like, little things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because in today's climate, where we have so much violence, and it's not just in the Black community, but
it's everywhere.
It's a lot going on in the Black community as far as violence, because the value of life is not there. Just think if that's somebody, that same person who's out here committing these atrocities, if they had a mentor, cousin, or uncle, or auntie to say, hey, you are special, you are somebody, and they had to say that every day before they left, 9 out of 10, that person's going to grow older. And that's why, like, my mind is through the roof when it comes to being a creative, because, like, I know that I can accomplish anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I love that. That was great. Thank you guys so much for coming on.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
This was lovely. This was a great conversation. And also, where can people find you and follow you guys? And actually, before I say that, are you guys working on anything like right now or individually that we can look out for?
Well, myself, I'm executive producer in a show called In the Shop ATL. So you can go on IG, follow at In the Shop ATL. Also, you can follow at All Exclusive Network. So I'm currently working on that show, as well as a show called Everyday Grind with Y.I, where I spend a day with an influential figure.
Nice.
So those are just a couple of pieces of content that I'm working on. You can follow me on Instagram at Y.I Mogul. That's YIMOGUL. And Eddie Law, you can hit him with yours. But yeah, we working, baby.
You know, just trying to get the blueprint for the percussion documentary, and right around the Henny, and you know, my logistical career, and you know, things like that. Pretty much all I'm working on. It spins me throughout the day. You know, I have some 3 o'clock in the mornings, and I have some like 2 o'clock at nights, you know, but nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream. And if you want to be successful, you got to expend you got to burn the midnight oil sometime. And
I know it.
Yes. And you know, me on Instagram at EDDIELAW at Eddie Law. And you know, I'm about to get my whole email address, but that's it.
Hey, don't you got a 5 at the end of your
No, that's the email address.
Oh, my bad.
We'll have it in the description too.
Yes.
Definitely appreciate you having us on.
Thank you.
Everything that you're doing, Queen, across the board. You are a trendsetter, a trailblazer, and we thank you for having us on here.
And unique and authentic.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
That means a lot. Thank you so much, guys.
Follow at Around the Henny too.
And definitely come back anytime you want. And like, if you have something that you're working on, we can totally do this again. And yeah, it's always great to talk to you guys and catch up.
Likewise, Miss Bean. And you already know we can have you back on the show ASAP.
That's it for this episode. And again, guys, always remember to live, love, laugh.